I've watched so many videos about it, so many reviews, and came to the conclusion it's definitely something I need to check out. Everyone should check it out.
I lock up and keep them. My secrets, too dangerous to give away.
Welcome to the studio. Welcome to another fun episode. Today something really exciting. Andy the Gear Guy has a new synthesizer for me. The best, probably the best on the planet, the most versatile. He's amazing. So I'm like very excited to receive it. But again, there is a but. First, we need to clear up here the live recording room because we're having customers. COVID is fading. First, people are coming back, so we need to clean everything a little. And especially this DJ desk wasn't used for 1.5 years, very dusty. Today, first person again here taking a course, a lesson to learn how to DJ. That's good. Actually, also all of the tools in here need to be organized. All of the cables here in the vocal booth. All of this crap needs to go to the trash. And the big canvas over here also needs to be solved. Here even more. And here it's starting to look a little more organized. Now everything looks good. Kitchen perfect and clean. Everything in here is now organized. Microphones, small stuff cables, more cables. Also the vocal booth, clean again. Live room, getting there. So it's time, about time for new gear. Cause you know, I got something here, but nothing over here. Like, you see, there's plenty of space. So let's, Andy! Ooh. Yeah, it's medium size. Ooh, it's heavy. Is it something good? Something that makes sounds? Okay, sounds are always good. It says music is the breath of the soul. That's cool. Whoa. Wow. Whoa. It's a lot heavier than I thought, which is usually a good sign. Wow. I've watched so many videos about it, so many reviews, and came to the conclusion it's definitely something I need to check out. Everyone should check it out because the functionality it has is unbelievably insane. This right here is by Waldorf, that's how you pronounce it in German. Iridium, a synthesizer that is 20 synthesizers in one, without being overly complicated as far as I know. I'm having fun. I'm having a ton of fun. This thing will keep me busy for months, like figuring everything out. But again, it's like not complicated, but it can do a whole lot. For example, I have now here a bass sound. I've already like triggered the ARP. I can like open the cutoff. It can do so many things. You have these little pads to control it, but you can also attach a keyboard, of course, and fully play it. You have right here your envelopes, filter section, oscillator mix, LFOs. That's kind of standard, but the oscillators is where it's getting really wild. So we have 3 right here. They're all the same. First one right here is like for detuning it, pitching it up or down by semitones or octaves, depending if you're clicking. Some of these knobs you can click down to have like a second shift kind of function, but without a shift, you just click. And then we got like effects, warp, length, exciter, position, shape, like everything that is written down here. It really depends on what kind of mode you're in. So we got wavetable, waveform, particle, resonator, and if you hit both, which was already activated, you got your kernels. And that's what's making it so unique. Like you can switch these oscillators to like standard oscillators with your standard waveforms that you can combine and mix. and pitch and shape. But you can also have like wavetable, which is already something extra cool. It already looks cool. It's also perfect to show this a very, very, very nice display. We got here our waveform. And now with the position knob, I can go through the waveform and select different parts of it and alter the sound by a lot. Then the waveform knob puts it into what most people know. You got here your shapes, sawtooth, can change it to sine, triangle, square, pink noise, white noise. Simple. Then the third is the particle generator, which makes it sound by using samples. And you can load your own in here. There are a bunch already in here. And within the particle oscillator, you can also choose like granular synthesis, which is picking apart like small bits of the sample and reusing it, or using the entire sample as a basis. So it's actually 2 in 1. You also got a round robin mode, which I absolutely love, especially if you play like ARPs. I've now added a sample onto that one oscillator. You could also take like a piano sample, you can sample something yourself, you can like have the inputs and feed something from your DAW back in there, manipulate it, send it back again. Everything is possible. Now switching it to granular, it's just like, I love the representation they picked for all of these types of like sound generators. It just makes so much sense. So these honeycombs now represent the grains. Can change now the length. Then next up we got the Resonator, and it's, as far as I understand, it's using an impulse to create sounds, and it can also use a sample to do it. Like, again, this is like the first hands-on. There's a lot to explore. This is a full sound designing beast because it can combine so many things. Yeah, there's like everywhere something you can change. These 3 knobs and these 3 represent what's next to it on the display. So the layout is, again, it's amazing. It's like packed with features, but it's not in a way where you're like distracted from actually making sounds, making music. And the last mode, where you have to hit like 2 buttons, the kernel mode, as far as I understand, you can within it combine all types of oscillators that are available and combine them into something new, and then combine a bunch of them together. It's crazy. And of course it comes with a ton of like samples. You just hit load, you go through them. There are so many in here. Let's put the attributes to all. Yeah, you can scroll for days. 1,800, 2,000, 2,250 presets. Let's maybe just pick the last one. It's nice. Granular Zen. It's now loading the sample. A bell sample. It's so complex. Like, if you play me that sound and ask me to recreate it, I wouldn't even know where to start. A Juno pad? Wow. Maybe go down an octave. Ooh, that's nasty. Also up here I can switch to chords and just trigger chords. This will cost me so much time. Whew. Scales. The envelopes, of course. Oh, I love like the representation of what's actually happening. It's so good. Then the art is also something I really love. It shows you the full keyboard. And maybe let's put the octaves to 3. It now shows you with like a red note, the one you're hitting, and with blue, the ones that are being played. Honestly, as far as I can tell, this one could actually, in theory, replace every other synthesizer. And the ways of combining are endless. The sounds you can create are endless. There's no downside as far as I can tell. Maybe the volume knob has like an awkward position. I was expecting it up here or maybe up there, but it's right in here between the envelopes. It's a little heavier than I thought, which, like, who cares? But I actually also intend using it for my live setup. Since it's so complex and can do so many things, I just need to take this one device instead of 3 or 4. I could even in theory just like have a piano on there and play a normal standard piano sound. More on that in a second. The only big downside is that it's like there's no plugin version of it. If this, I don't know if it's possible. I don't know anything about like if it would be possible, but if this would be a plugin, I can guarantee you it would be the most used synthesizer. It would replace a ton of other ones. It would be like the one to get that everyone owns. So maybe one day there will be a plugin version of it. I'll keep you updated in the coming days and weeks. I'll need a ton of time for this one. I usually, before I do any kind of review or further testing, I want to at least produce one song, because that's how you usually figure out if it's good or bad, the quirks and everything. But wow, like there is a ton of engineering in this one. Now let's actually detach it again, because for the next 2-3 days I actually want to test it in that live scenario setup.
Pull the trigger, but I don't need to.
So yeah, this right here could be also a nice live setup. OB6, Akai APC, and the Iridium. That is just very versatile. I think this is bread and butter sounds. This is everything else. So a good combination. And since this doesn't have a keyboard, I could send MIDI from here and still play it, or play it with these pads. Everything possible. I'll test it, keep you updated. Thanks a lot for watching. See you tomorrow again here in the studio, another vlog.
I'll wrap a chain around all my fingers.